and Randy Lugo with 5 broken bones. How long before it was his neck? No matter what, those kids were not going to be plumbed back into those broken child protective services system. An excerpt from page 161 of The Disposables by David Putnam. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and to the review of The Disposables by David Putnam. Here am I bringing you another fantastic crime thriller after a long while. It's been a while with me with crime thrillers, and I was so excited picking up David Putnam's crime thriller novel titled The Disposables, which is actually the first book in the series of 10, which sounds very amazing to me. While I read the book, it was very enthralling, it was captivating, it reads cynically, and it's as if I'm watching a movie. Talk about the characterization, talk about the storytelling techniques, talk about the description and the telling style of David. They all read cynically, they read militarily, and the book actually rekindled my love and admiration for crime thriller novels. You can imagine those whereby you're reading a book and you can feel all the action in your head, you can paint imagery in your head as you read along, and it's as if the whole art is right in front of you to watch in form of books. The novel is actually very interesting to me, and I'm actually looking forward to explore and see what David Putnam has had to come up in the other book series, which is currently out. I'm looking forward to reading it. Just like my other reviews and method of reviews, I won't be talking too much about the book. I'm just gonna be giving you a short video book recommendation for you to have an idea of what David Putnam has had to communicate in this fantastic crime thriller novel that had me stuck to the book until I finished indulging my emotions in it. It is one of those fantastic crime thriller novels that I've ever read. Following on from the protagonist, which is Bruno Johnson, and as the book is actually termed on Amazon, a Bruno Johnson novel, book 1, The Disposables. Before I proceed in my review, I'd love to read to you the synopsis that I found directly at the books page on Amazon. Bruno Johnson, a tough street cop, member of the Elite Violent Crime Task Force, feared by bad guys, admired by the good, finds his life derailed when a personal tragedy forces him to break the law. Now he is an ex-convict and his life on peril is not going well. He is hassled by the police at every opportunity, and to make matters even more difficult, his former partner, Robbie Weeks, now a high-ranking detective, bullies him into helping solve a high-profile crime. Unofficial, of course. Meanwhile, Bruno's girlfriend, Maria, brings out the good, the real Bruno, and even though they're very totally outside the law, he and Maria dedicate themselves to saving abused children, creating a type of underground railroad for neglected kids at risk. Disposable kids actually. Then what they must do is perilous as they take matter into their own hands, battling a wrapped justice system and Bruno's former partner who has his own evil agenda. This is what you stand to experience reading through The Disposables. This is what you have been exposed to. You've been exposed to the protagonist who is being faced with quite a lot, who has quite a lot of things going on within him all alone, and he has to survive on this end, he has to survive on the other end. He's been haunted by his own past and quite a lot of other situations surrounding him. My review of the book is actually going to be a spoiler free, and I'll just be mentioning some part of the novel, talks inviting you to wanting to look it up on Amazon. And of course, I left a link in the description part of this video book review if you would love to get a copy directly on Amazon. So this book actually detailed the life of the protagonist, Bronson Johnson, who was a tough street cop and was once an ex-convict, that's like an ex-prisoner, and he has had a terrible event during his past years. He has got a lot of silly things that he had done in his past years, and I actually did love how the story began. It begins with the death of a young boy who had come into Bruno's office where he worked as an attendant in Mr. Show's liquor store. Before the boy actually came inside, another Asian girl had come to probably bought something from Bruno, and Bruno could perceive that something is not right, that something is fishy, and this boy actually came into the store with the intention of robbing Bruno to take away all of his money that he has made for Mr. Shaw for that day. So when the boy came in, he raised his gun and said, "Hello, old man, I've come to collect all that you've got today. Put your money together and I'm here to go with it." And Bruno could sense that something is not right. He told the young boy, even though he was handing over all that he has made for the day over to him, it was like, "I sense something. Some people are monitoring you. Some people are following you. You are at risk if you step at that door." So the boy was like, "Old man, I'm not very stupid and I'm not obeying or here to play to all of the silly things you've got to say." But while Bruno was in the point of handling what he has made for the day over to this young boy, he mistakenly, let loose of a bullet from his gun, and that fired a shot which caused the shattering of some bottles, and as such, calling the attention of these men, came inside and issued an arrest Bruno. Actually, I was quite a bit confused if Bruno was the one who did kill the boy, or it's the other cop who came in at the same time that killed him. And as such, Bruno was arrested and charged with the offense of killing the boy. This actually moved on, and when he was arrested, he was taken to the station, and when Mr. Shaw got to realize that an attack takes place in his liquor store, he had to fire Bruno and told him that, "I don't need you anymore, you are fired." So once the whole issue got to the spot, and Bruno was actually arrested, but when he get there, he got to meet Robbie Weeks, which they were partner in an earlier time, which I think was not really reviewed in the Fox part section of this book. This is actually the Fox series in the book of 10, and there are a lot of things about Robbie Weeks. There are a lot of stories about Bruno Johnson himself, which I think will be reviewed in the upcoming series, because this part is actually very fun. What I can actually say about the first book series is that it is fun, it is full of suspense, and the characterization, the real personality of some characters in the first book series are somewhat aiding in a way that it leaves the reader to want to check out what become of them in the upcoming book series. I'm not actually sure if this was a style that was used intentionally by David Putnam, but this is something that I'm looking forward to exploring more about the characterization. One of the things that I love so much about reading, one of the interesting features that often caught me captivated in books is the characterization, it's a storytelling techniques, because characterization of a novel leaves you wanting to check for more, leaving the verge of wanting to look out for what become of this character, what come of Bruno's father, what come of Maria, what come of Robbie Weeks, what becomes of Jumbo and some other several amazing characters there. So Robbie Weeks came in, and to my own perception, it seems to be the boss, like the leader, or one of the leaders actually, of this particular corps. And once he came in, he was able to recognize Bruno and said, "Oh, Bruno, this is Bruno. You all should release him. What has he done? Why are you here? What happened?" All the guys actually did not know the real personality of Bruno. And from here, Robbie told them that he's one of the founding fathers of the BMFs. And once they heard that, they were like, "Really? BMF? The bad boy Bruno?" Rage at him, lashed at him, but Robbie was actually going to stop them. So this scenario, this scene, in my own perception, actually lead to the fact whereby Bruno become to be a suspect. Is when they started monitoring him to know what else he has got, to know where else is going, and to know what action is going to come up with later. So the story kept unfolding, and it was unfolding in a dynamic manner. After the whole scene, Bruno arrived home to meet his wife, Maria. I love Maria's characterization. I love her storytelling techniques. I love her descriptive features, and I love her personality. She's someone that really, in my own perception, do not know much about Bruno's, ill qualities in terms of being a bad guy, in terms of being a bad guy. And this is something that Bruno himself has restricted from revealing to Maria. However, when Maria saw him, was like, oh God, why are you such in trash? The cuts and the wounds all over your body. She was a physician, and with that she was able to prepare some shutters and get that cleared off. However, as the story develops, Bruno and Maria, despite the fact that Bruno had a bad reputation, he actually did not have a good, past life. Sometimes his past lives often haunt his present life because most people recognize him as a founding father of the BMF, and as such, he had been to prison before. More reason why he is an ex-prisoner. So coming into another scene here is a scene whereby Maria and Bruno himself, despite the fact that he's a bad guy, he has this humanitarian quality in him. He has this feature in him, this empathy that made him feel pain for, disposable kids, for kids who are born into dysfunctional family, for kids who are product of abuse and whose parents have actually neglected them. And in my own perception, well, I'm not sure as to the perception of the author, but in my own perception, I think this is where the title actually emanated from. Bruno and Maria actually have this passion towards helping this kid, and their passion towards helping this kid actually sort of lead them into another kind of problem, which I would restrict from revealing in this review in an attempt to keep it spoiler free. They are very devoted to helping children whose parents have actually neglected them, who are product of dysfunctional families, who are product of abuse, etc. And from the book, there are actually quite a lot of scenarios about different kind of children who were talked about in the book. Bruno will always come home with them, and Maria would not even ask any question. She would just go ahead and pick, oh, welcome another son here, welcome another boy here, and take good care of them as if they were a child. And this also extends to Bruno's father. Most of these kids were actually kept with Bruno's father, and sometimes it would be the one taking care of them. And again, I love the introduction of character like Alonso, and some of the kids were actually interesting to me, and I'm actually looking forward to see how their story has been developed in the next book series. So Bruno dedicates a good time of his life to supporting this kid. And now that Mr. Shaw has, fired him, has sacked him, he also have another girlfriend aside Maria, which is Shanta. Shanta knows much more about Bruno than Maria did, and she knows more about the qualities. And sometimes when these other guys are over or seeking for Bruno, she would invite Bruno and said, okay, you can come and stay here. There's a very funny scene that happened that I do love very well. Bruno had no idea that some people actually watching over him as he came to visit Shanta in a particular location. Then the other guys came and they were like, oh, we are here, we want to search this place. And Shanta was like, you can search here without a search warrant. And they were like, oh no, we have to search. We sense something fishy here. And actually, Bruno had got a money that he had been paid to perform a silly, unofficial job, which he had quickly snuck into a very large flower vase after he had heard that, the cop are by the door. So once they actually found all of this, they brought it out. Shanta was very keen to put a call across, and she was very wise in deceiving them and said them that this is my house, I can keep whatsoever money I want to. There are actually more to say about the story, which I wouldn't actually love to expound in the review in an attempt to make it spoiler free. But I do love Shanta's qualities, and from my own perception and characterization, she kind of make the book to read in a sensual manner. The book has some features, has some romantic qualities in it. Now, introducing another amazing character is Jumbo. Jumbo had put a call across to Bruno, and he had recognized Bruno that Bruno would be a very good, candidate to execute a job that he wanted to do. What is the job all about? Unofficial, illegal. They want to, snuff some computer chips out of a computer company, and he had said, Bruno, I'm having a job for you and I'm gonna pay you quite a lot of thousands of dollars. Bruno was like, okay, we're gonna do it in $20,000. The other person said, okay, I'm gonna give you 75 now, and here's another 25. Bruno, when he saw the money, he had nothing, he had to do it because he actually have to take care of the kids at home. He have to fund the family, he have to give them enough. And in order to keep all of this going, he still have to do some past habit of his previous life, which I'm not really sure if he's doing it out of his own discretion or he's being forced or he's doing it because of his love for the kids, for Maria, for his father, or for his family. This is something that I'm looking forward to expounding and getting to know more about it in the upcoming book series. However, Bruno taking into Jumbo's proposition, he had to do as he was told, but I would restrict from revealing the aftermath of all of the computer chips theft in an attempt to make my review a spoiler free. This is actually a novel that I do enjoy very well. I love the characterization, I love the storytelling technique, and the book actually reads militarily. The Disposables actually rekindles my love for crime thrillers. It's something that I actually enjoy reading. It's a novel, that caught me in trouble until I finish indulging my emotions in it. It's well written, it is action packed, it reads as if I was watching a movie, and it's something that I really love to recommend to lovers of crime thrillers out there and literature at large. So if you'd love to get a copy of The Disposables by David Putnam, I left a link in the description part of this review for you to get a copy directly on Amazon. I'm actually looking forward to getting to know more about Bruno, to getting to know more about Maria, to getting to know more about Shanta, to getting to know more about the Disposable Kids, to getting to know more about Robbie Wicks, know more about Jumbo, and quite a lot of amazing characters in this fantastic crime thriller novel. And I wouldn't love to talk more about it. I just want to give you a short video book recommendation for you to have an idea of what David Putnam has had to communicate in these fantastic crime thrillers. Thank you so much for watching my short video book recommendation of The Disposables by David Putnam. If you watched this video to this point and you are yet to click on the subscribe button, I want to urge you to please click on the subscribe button over there. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I release new videos. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Goodbye.